Hooray, I'm live, and God willing, you can hear me. Hello up there. So today, and I can see that my camera angle needs to change a bit. Today I am doing some live play testing of a supplement that's coming out for Horizon Wars Zero Dark in hopefully just a few weeks. My target is end of September. Originally, the target was end of August, but stuff has happened. It's not been quite finished yet. So I'm simultaneously trying to get the text finished, trying to prepare the layout, trying to do the photography, and trying to playtest aspects of the game to make sure that they work. So what I thought I'd do today for the live stream was get you guys on board here and show you what I'm trying to do. Now, there's a good chance that I will forget some of the rules along the way. I may make up some rules here and there, may even run into some problems as we go through because playtesting has not been particularly intense. It's embarrassing to admit that, but it's been a complicated few months. However, let me adjust the camera so that you guys can see what's going on, and I'll get playing. Nearly there. Come on, damn you. There we are. Okay, there you should be able to see everything that's going on. Okay, so I have laid out a super simple table. In Zero Dark Fear, the whole idea of the game is it takes the original Horizon Wars rules and it puts them into a contained space. So it's Fear is fighting in enclosed areas. It's a slightly forced acronym, but work with me. Okay, so we've got an entry point here. I've got two heroes, just got two heroes in this mission. They're very, very simple. They have to make their way through this chamber, into this chamber, to this objective marker, and if they can do that, they will win the mission. They get bonus points along the way if they seal up the entry points that the bad guy's using. Now, the bad guy in Zero Dark Fear, the bad guys are they're a new thing, and hopefully they will add to the whole game of Zero Dark, because the bad guys aren't just for Zero Dark. They're going to be for general. Sorry, they're not just for Fear. They're for general Zero Dark. Dale is offering to come over and playtest. Fantastic. I would love you to come over and playtest with me, Dale. I'm seriously starting to feel the lack of social contact with fellow gamers, and I know I ought to be able to get back to gaming, but do you know, it's taking time to adjust to the fact that I'm allowed to go out in public, and it's made it really hard for me to organise a trip to our local gaming centre. But yeah, Dale, we'll talk and we'll get you over for some playtesting. Right, okay. So I've got the two heroes here, and they're a really basic profile. So I've given them 4-3-4-4. So that's 4 move, 3 fight, 4 acuity, 4 discipline, to keep things simple. And I've got 1 upgrade on each of them, which is they've got a flashlight, which is a new upgrade specifically for Zero Dark Fear. So they've got, therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades in total. 1 stat upgrade, simple upgrade, and the flashlight. So I'm going to run down the clock. 4 cards. And that leaves me 48, 49, 50 cards in which to complete this mission, which should be more than enough. This is a simple introductory mission. This is pretty much, with some variation, the first mission in the game. Now, before I get started, I want to talk about tiles. So as you can see, those of you who know your 40k may recognize Space Hulk 3rd edition tiles here, and they're fine. I've also got some of these tiles over here. These are Imperial Assault tiles. They've got smaller squares, but they also have double-sized corridors, which is good. I will include corridors in the rules, but the important thing to take away from this is that it's not about having the right tiles. Different sets of tiles will give a different gaming experience. Each mission is written with the idea that you can use whatever tiles, terrain, with grids that you've got available, so that it's as easy and convenient as possible for you to start. I will include some print and play tiles in the book for people who haven't got their own. But really, that's up. Stefan says, "Hey Roby, much easier to catch you on YouTube than Facebook." Fantastic, good to hear it. Yeah, I'm enjoying Facebook. It's okay. The one downside with Facebook is that it doesn't let me preview what the camera can see before I go live. So if I had been a little bit more time to go to prep for this, I probably would have made sure that you could see my face more or less, as well as the table in front of me. But never mind. Never mind. It's quite hard to demo a game like this because you've got to get quite close. Ideally, I'd have two cameras, but my poor laptop cannot cope with that. It just, the moment I try to run two cameras through my laptop and use OBS Studio or something, it crashes horribly. So one day I will have a more powerful machine and we can do this properly. Okay, so I've run down the clock. I've got 50 cards to do it. The object is to get to the end. Two things are important about Zero Dark to increase that sense of claustrophobia. Movement is half the distance that it is in Zero Dark, and shooting has an absolute limit. Now, the default absolute limit in Zero Dark Fear is 12 inches. Notice that I said inches, not squares, because movement is squares, but shooting is tape measure. Reason being, counting squares is slow and boring. Tape measure is quick and easy. So we still use a tape measure for range, but we use the squares for counting movement. So movement is halved. So in this case, they're both move 4, which means that for them, a cautious move is 2 squares, a normal move is 4, and an urgent move is 8 squares. They're not going to do much urgent movement, I'm pretty sure. The other thing, as I said, is shooting is absolute limit of 12 inches, but in this game, the shooting limit, because the idea is it is dark in here, the limit is 4 inches. So the maximum they can see is 4 inches. But luckily, they have both come equipped with flashlights. And flashlights add 4 inches to that range. So they can see up to 8 inches. Okay. Right. Where shall we start? Where shall we start? Okay, well, let's start with an activation. Simple as this. So this guy here is going to activate. At the start of his activation, before he does anything, he is going to switch on his flashlight. That has 2 effects. First of all, it immediately makes him targeted, which is not great for him, but it also means that one enemy in his line of sight can also become targeted. So he is going to make that guy targeted because he's in his line of sight and he is within, well, he's within 8 inches, just. Range is measured not from miniature to miniature, but from square to square. So he's actually at like 7 1/4 inches. So we're good, he is in range. Right, so we're going to start with an activation. He is going to attempt a cautious move forwards. He's discipline 4. He's going to move 2 squares. So that is 4, 5, 6 within 12 inches. So target of 6. He's rolled 1, 6, 8, and 6. The 1 is useless. The 6 cancels the next control deck flip. He's got 2 bonus actions to use. 1 is going to take... no, he's not going to take a support token. 1, his friend is going to move up 2. And then he is going to shoot the target in front of him. So we've just established range from square to square. So it is 5 inches. He's got a firepower of 3. No support token, but his target is targeted. So we'll get an extra dice. And he is no longer targeted. Oops. What did I just say? 5. I said 5. Target of 5, defense of 1, 6. 8, 10, 2, and 5. 2 and 5 is enough, 8 and 10. So 2 and 5 down, 8 killed, 10. Further bonus action. Now he'll take that support token that he didn't get last time. There we go. Control deck flip. 7 of spades. Spades is an attack action. Does he have a line of sight? So when we measure line of sight, we measure it from the nearest corner to a point on the enemy square that is within that line. This guy does not have line of sight because you can draw a line from square to square, but his range is outside 4. So he doesn't have line of sight. In fact, now I think about it, it doesn't matter for these guys anyway because they can't shoot. They can only hit you. I've got some comments this week as well. I'm working at this time of day, but I can do numbers staying connected. Sorry if I can actually follow. Thanks. Noised? Can't follow. Can't actually follow. Yep. Fair enough. Apologies. Yeah, the later time seems to work well for most people, and we're sticking with it for the moment. We'll keep that under advisement. But he is going to move towards them, and he is going to move 2. Now, movement in fear can simply be orthogonal or diagonal. It doesn't matter in this particular case. So he can move 2, 1, 2 towards them. But no, he can't because I cancelled the card because he moved. Right. Okay. So then he'll get his second reaction, which is move 1, 2. So he still moves. Second reaction. End of activation. Any unoccupied deployment spaces. Get a new bad guy. As you can see, the bad guys build up quite quickly, even though they are easy to beat. So next hero activation. This guy cannot move diagonally there because there's a corner in the way. I did have a pointy thing. Here it is. So there's a corner here, and he can't move diagonally through a corner. So he's going to have to back up his pal here. His pal is going to move, and again, cautious move. Now he's got, he's going to move 2, that'll be 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's got a target of 7 on his cautious move. 2, 2, 5, and 10. So 2 does nothing. 10 cancels, 2 and 5 is 1 more success. So he can move 1, 2. Oh, start of his activation. This guy can become targeted. And then he can shoot him with his bonus action. So he's going to use his support token and the targeted state of his attacker to add 2 dice to his firepower. Roll 5. We've got a nice short range here. We should get some bonus actions, and he can shoot the guy behind him as well. So we've got a range of 3 plus defense of 1, 4s. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Fantastic. So 1, 2, dead. He's going to use movement to go forward. 3, 4 for a bonus. Oops. He used his support token, and then he will shoot again. So he doesn't have a support token. You guys not targeted. So he will fire 3. Range of 3 plus defense of 1 is 4. 1, 2, success. Down. Dead. Control deck flip. 3 of clubs. Command action. Thank you for dropping in, Axe and Axe. I will have this up after we've finished somehow. I'm not sure how well I'm doing at getting live streams up. I'm doing my best. So command action, again, means this guy would move and get a support token. He doesn't because we cancelled that card flip, but he gets his basic move of 2. Now we have a problem because that means he comes in there and he comes in there because I did not get to block that space, which I should have done. He's engaged, which means we automatically have a close combat. Luckily, he's just a basic guy. So he's going to roll 2 dice. Oh, that's not good. That's a 10 and a 9. His discipline is 4, so he's rolling 4 back with a target of 5. And that's a terrible roll. He's got 2 hits. 2 is enough to put him down. Dead. 10 and 9. He means to take an armor test against. He's just got an armor value of 2. And we've got a 12. Fantastic. So he is fight 3, discipline 4. So his target is 7. So that would be 2 hits. That's cancelled. So he's just taken 1 hit. So he's just wounded 1. End of. And that was the end of the bad guy's activation. This is good. So this guy is going to move for our next activation. First thing he's going to do is turn on his flashlight. In fact, he's not going to bother turning on his flashlight because he can't see anything. So he is going to make a normal move. No, he's not. He's going to make a cautious move. Going to go 1, 2. Reason being, we want this guy to move forward 1. So he's got 1, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Ooh, should he take a support token or let this guy shoot again? That would be a good idea. Shoot him because he's already blocking an entry point. He's blocking an entry point. He's blocking an entry point. That's good. Let's have him shoot again. Range is very short. You really want to shoot these guys at range. You do not want to let them get close. They get nasty. 2 plus defense of 1 is 3. We got, oh my word, that's some terrible shooting. A 1 and a 2 and an 11, but that is enough. Down and out, no bonus actions. So no bonus support. End of their activation. Cancel that. Nearest guy is this one, and he is going to move. 1, 2. Wait, so far, so good. Any questions on the chat? Let's have a gander. Nope, nothing. We got 8 people watching. Hello, 8 people. Nice to see you. My face is here. Hello. There we go. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Anything else that I can talk about that's important? Yeah, one of the things I should talk about is I am doing a lot of these rules from memory. I do not have a book open somewhere that I can refer to. So if these rules turn out to be incorrect, tell me as I'm going. One of the things that I genuinely can't remember, which I thought I could, was how frequently the bad guys come out of the deployment spaces. They feel like they're coming out a lot at the moment, but maybe that will change as I get them closed. It is now time for this guy to try and seal this entry point. He's already wounded 1. He's targeted, which should have come up in the last close combat and didn't. That's my mistake. So he probably should have taken another hit. Let's roll another hit to see how he does. Ouch. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen because that was a 12. That would have hurt a lot. I don't like that story with only 2 heroes. Let's give him a free act. He's going to try and seal that. Great. It's not a difficult test. It is an acuity 10 test to seal the grace. He's got an acuity of 4. Oh, that's a great roll. Okay, so we've got 9, 9, 12, and 12. So the 9 and 9 is enough to seal that entry point. So we're good there. Then we've got a 12, which is a success and another success, and a 12, which is a success and another success. So we've got 4 bonus actions to use here. Unsurprisingly, I'm going to take a support token. In fact, at the beginning of his action, he could have been targeted, so we'll make that in as well. Take a support token, target him, and I'm going to hold my movement in reserve until I've completed those 2 there. So we've got a target. We know how far away he is. We know that's 2, 3. I'm going to add support, add targeted for 5. He should be going down comfortably. Yes, he is. 1, 2 to kill, and then 1, 2, 3 spares. So we're going to move 1, but not 2, because I want to make sure I can get there safely. The next one, if I move again, it'll come out at the end. No, that should be fine. We'll move him 2. His targeted state is up. And he's had a support token. Can't get another one. No, I've got nothing else that I can spend bonus actions on. So that's life. This guy's doing all the hard work. But that's because of the nature of this particular layout, that it's a single width corridor. If we had a double width corridor, there'd be a bit more pepper potting going on up the corridor. This is what I mean about your choice of corridors. What you've got, what you put on the table is going to influence your game experience, which is part of the point. We're not trying to dictate too much what things you've got to use on the table. Okay, so end of theirs. Activation, 4 of diamonds. He's already targeted, so he becomes targeted. He gets a support token. That's interesting, but he doesn't. Oh no, we cancel. Oh no, we didn't cancel that. Didn't cancel that because he was doing his tech thing down here. Okay, and then he gets his secondary action, which is to move 2. These are all grunts, by the way. Well, or I've got a word for them. What are they called? This is called the Brood rather than the Red Force, and the Brood they have primes and alphas, and I've forgotten what the basic ones are called. There's another term for them. It might be Gribblies, but I didn't think it was. Let's say it's Gribblies for the sake of argument. Okay. So these are all Gribblies. I do have an elite. The elite will appear as and when the cards dictate. Okay, but I've only got 1 elite in this mission. The actual rules for the mission include bosses and more elites, but I'm giving myself an easy run. Okay, so that's the end of the activation, and then any unfilled spaces. 1, 2. So we're still facing bad guys. So this guy, my plan is that he is going to shoot this one. He can, because he's got his flashlight on, he can immediately be targeted. Hasn't got a support token now because he used that last turn. He's going to immediately try and shoot this guy. It should be the same as before. 2 plus 1 is 3. Going to have 4 dice to shoot him. I'm needing some bonus actions off this. Not bad. So 2's nothing. 4, 9, and 11. So 4 and 9 will bring him down and out. 11 will give me a bonus action. I can move to here to occupy that space. Is that guy within range? No. Not yet, but he will be soon. Red Force, Brood activation. Aha! We have an elite activation, but there is no elite on the table and all of the spaces are occupied. If the spaces weren't occupied, the elite would now deploy. We would have a complication, but one of the things that I have not sufficiently worked hard on is getting the complications table absolutely finished for this game, and I don't have it handy. So I'll just simply gloss over the requirement for a complication and turn that into a regular activation. So nearest guy's this one. So he is going to move 1, 2, 3 because it is an attack activation. That's pretty much the end of it. He's now within range, but he can't target him yet. He'll get his secondary activation, which is a move of 2, and he's closing fast. Right. My intent had been for this guy to move. Depends what this card's going to be. If that's another spade, he's in trouble. But I need this guy up to heal him quite quickly. I don't want to move him from there. I could try a cautious move and give him a support token in the hope that he can use it as ablative armor. That's what we're going to do. Because I don't like my odds. If this turns out not to be a spade, I'm going to be really annoyed. Because, in fact, a spade or a command token, or a club, really. Either of those would be bad. 1 in 2 chance. Let's do this. 1, 2, cautious move. Cautious move. Let's test that on 4. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5. cancel 2 bonus actions. That does nothing. So bonus actions. Now, give him a support token, definitely. Should I move him closer? Or should I have him shoot him? What do you reckon, guys? Come on, help me out here. Hello, DK. Yeah, baddies spawning all over the place. So my options are, got a bonus action to spend. I could move this guy 2 squares forwards to his buddy. The idea is he is wounded and he needs help. 1 wounded may not affect him physically, but it's bad news in this game. Or should I leave him where he is and I'll have him open fire to try and bring this guy down? He's occupying that. That's occupied there. I won't get another baddie. I'm thinking he should shoot. I think he should shoot. Okay. This guy's going to shoot. So he's firepower 3. This guy's got a support token, so he's going to have to cause 3 wounds for him to go down. He's got a support token for 1. But he doesn't have targeted on this guy because he hasn't had an activation yet, so his flashlight isn't on him. Range is 4, plus 1 is 5. He can see him. 5s. I need 3 successes on 4 dice. 3 successes. Minimum 3 successes. Okay, the 2 does nothing. The 5 is a hit. The 8 is a hit. The 11 is a hit. So remove support token, down and out. Phew. Cancel the primary action. But we know who's activating. It's this guy over here. Secondary action. 1, 2. Now we've got an empty space there. Okay, let's activate this guy again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would bring him to there. He'd move. I feel comfortable about that. Let's go for it. Let's go for a normal move. Okay. Or a cautious move and move him twice. Nope, let's go for a cautious move. I like cautious move better. Bonus actions should move him there. 1, 2. 4. Really? It's not within 12? Oh, is he? Yeah. Okay, so 4, 5. 5s. 1, 2 bonus actions. So did we move him before? No. 1, 2. And then bonus 1, 2, and support token on your boy here. Okay. Cancelled that. Secondary 1, 2. End of activation. He is there. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go with this? I think he needs to seal that entry point as a first call. So entry point, I said it was a 10. I'm making that easy, by the way. I'm playing this on easy mode. I think it's 13 in the rules itself. I just don't want everybody to die so quickly that you can't see aspects of how the game works. Oops. So going in with a 10 on 4 dice. I'm not going to use the support token. Oh, at the start of his activation, he could target him. We'll do that first. So 10s. So we've got a 12, an 11, a 5, and a 2. 5 and a 2 does nothing. 11 succeeds. 12 is success plus a bonus. So I've got 2 bonuses. So 1 seals that. Bonus action. He will become engaged with his partner and take a support token. However, bad guys get activation. Elite activation. No elites on the table. We'll bring that down then to a regular activation, which is this guy. It's a technical. Okay, so they are both targeted already, which means the nearest one targeted immediately becomes subject to, basically takes a wound. Boop. Immediately becomes wounded 2. Yay. But he doesn't move. Then his second reaction. 1, 2. So he's wounded 2. He's going to try and heal that up at least once and then twice. So he's acuity 4. 13 test, if I remember rightly. 10 and 6, that was a 2. 10 and 6 is success. 2 and 7 is nothing. It's no bonuses. So he goes from 2 back down to 1. Then Red Force activation, 6 of diamonds. He becomes targeted again. Doesn't move, but second reaction, 1, 2. Right. I don't feel like I can not shoot him this turn. So let's do some of that. Fight 4. Fight 3 plus his support token, 4 plus his targeted state, 5. Needing, didn't measure the range. I should know the range between 2 of these squares by now. There we are. 3 plus 1 is 4. So, wow, that's good. So it's 2 and a 3 is 1, 10 and 10 and 12. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 3 bonus actions. Bonus actions, then I'm going to move him forward 1. I'm going to give him a support token. And there's not a lot else I can do at this time. He is out of my ability to see. Even with my flashlight, I can't see beyond 8 inches. You'll notice there are no doors, by the way, on this map. This is intentional. There are doors, very much there are doors and gates in the game, and they're there to both slow down the heroes and to provide them the ability to shut bad guys out, so they can shut doors behind them and stop bad guys being able to get through, the brood being able to get through. But in this intro mission, just no doors. Everything is open. So that was bonus actions. End of his action. That is it, isn't it? Yeah, that should be it. Elite activation. Square is still full. So it's another technical action, which is a disaster because he becomes wounded 2 again. And then he moves 2 for his second reaction. And then that is empty. This guy's getting really fed up with this guy's ability to get wounded. So he is going to attempt to heal him again. Acuity 4. On 13s, he's going to use his support token, see if he can get some bonus actions. 13s. That's good. 12 and 1 is success. 7 and 10 is success. 12 is not a success on its own, but is a bonus. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. I think that's right. Could I make that different? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 successes. Good stuff. So 1, 2, 3. Is he within range? No, he's just out of range, so I can't shoot him. Boo. Second reactivation. Okay, nobody is down. Gets a support token. Moves 2. And new guy. Do you know, I feel like I should have the elite in. There we go. Let's bring the elite in to make things interesting. Cool. Any questions on the chat? Any feedback? No. Okay, cool. Okay, we're down to 3 viewers, but I realize that without the obvious appeal of seeing my face, that's going to happen. Right, okay. That was the end of theirs. They're up now. We've got an elite in the way, so we've got to get through to the end before the end. We got loads of cards, so plenty of time. If anybody wants to come up with a suggestion for what could happen with the next complication, I'd be very willing to hear your suggestions if you want to throw in a suggestion for what could happen on the next complication, because I got 2 jokers in here that we could get to eventually. So he's going to cautious move forward again. It's all cautious move, mostly cautious move. I did one normal move, didn't I? Cautious move is, hang on, 4, 5, is he within 8? He is now 5, 6, 7. Resting on 7s. That's a good roll. 1, 2, 3. I should have put him in the targeted state at the beginning of his activation. Let's be nice to myself. There we go. So 3, 4, 5, targeted support. Didn't check range. 4 plus 1, 5, 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4. None of that. So 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, because he's got a support token. He's still wounded 1, so I don't want him to move away. So I will leave it. No, I'll move him there. There we go. We'll leave that there. Cancel the next primary action. Secondary actions on the elite. 1, 2. End of activation. New guy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go for the dock test again. Let's see if I can medic him back. Flashlights run out of batteries. Good call, Dale. I like that idea. Door shuts between them and the exit. Ooh, all right, okay. Yeah. Either of those is good. I like those. Right. What did I just establish? Oh, yeah, dock test. 13s. 10 and 4, 10 and 1. 10 and 1 does nothing. 10 and 4 is 1 success. Goes from wounded 1 to unwounded. Thank goodness. About flipping time. No bonuses, though. Heart. Support, support. Secondary action. 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3, because he's elite. Boop, boop, boop. He's faster. Your boy here. He's going to have to shoot him, isn't he, from there? We've got a range of 3. Defense of 2. So that's 5s on 3 dice. And he's got a support token and he's elite. So this is going to be hard. That's good, though. That's a 7, 11, and a 12. So 1 from the 7. 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3. Dead. Killed the elite. Result. No bonus actions, though. Straight in. It's an elite activation, so we're going to have a complication. Door shuts between them and the exit. Conveniently, I have a door. Door shuts between them and the exit. So now they're going to have to get through the door. But on the plus side, bad guys can't get to them. So normal move then. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 up to the door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better to cautious move. Discipline 4. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No shooting. No primary activation. It's not a joker yet. Secondary activation. 1, 2. Note, they cannot move through the door. But I have to be adjacent to the door, engaged with the door to get into the room. So he is going to have to fight him in close combat before he can get into the room. So thank you for that complication. That makes life so much fun. End of activation. He comes in here. New start. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've both got support tokens. There's nothing to be gained from them moving cautiously. So 1, 2, except cancelling the primary activation, I suppose, but little things. Moves up. In fact, I take that back. I take that back. No, there is something to be gained because he's not yet in contact with the door. So, cautious move. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 is 5 and 1 is success. That's 1, 11 success, and 6 is success. So 1, 2 bonus. That 1 is going to move him engaged with the door. That's all we get. Cancel the primary action. Secondary action. 1, 2. End of activation. Third Greeble. Let's bring you down so you can see a bit closer what's going on. Oops. Now that we're all into the final room. So you've got one guy behind the door, guy following him up. Wants to get close so we can use medic actions to stop this guy from dying in the immediate close combat. Got plenty of time. Cautious move again. No rush. That's good. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Success, success, no success. So 1, 2, 3. 2. Both got support tokens. Nothing to be gained. End of. Cancel the primary action. Secondary action. 1, 2. End of. It's got to open the door. At that point, he will immediately fight a close combat. So, opening the door is a 13 test. No, it's a 16 test. I'm lying. Security 16. 11 and 8, or 11, 3 and 2. It's all enough. The door opens. He's immediately engaged by a guy with a support token. So he would normally roll 3. He's going to use his support token to roll 2. Normally roll 2, support token to roll 3. So he's got a target of 7. Oh, well, that was lucky. 2, a 3, and a 1. He has whiffed it. The bad guy has whiffed the shot. Okay. Good guy is rolling back with 4 dice. 5 dice, he'll use his support token with a target of 5 because he's a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So unsurprisingly, 1, 2. Dead. Now here's a question. At the moment, and he is supposed to be oriented that way, let's be fair to me. He's also engaged with these guys in the rules as written. They ought to be able to hit him as well. But I've got extra hits here, so I feel like if they can hit him, he can hit them. So I've got 2 more hits to allocate here. What did I need? I needed a 5. So I've got 1, 2 hits. I've got 2 more. So these guys are going to try and hit him. So this guy's going to hit him on 7s. No, he doesn't have 3. He's got 2 dice because he's got no support token. 7s. Oh, that's not good. That's an 11 and an 8. He's immediately wounded 2. This guy. 6 and 6. That's enough for 1. He's up to wounded 3. So he's in a bad way, but he's got 2 hits back. So we're going to put them down and down immediately. He's wounded 3. End of that activation. Primary action. Spades. He will move. 1, 2. This guy is going to attack as well. 7s. It's 1 hit. Goes from 3 to 4. Hitting back. He will get to hit back, but He was hitting on 4. He's now -2, so he's hitting on 5s on 2 dice. 5 and a 7 is enough to put him out. The guy's a hero. Outstanding. But he's wounded 4. He is not going to make it to the exit. He could theoretically move through him to the objective, but we've still got bad guys coming in through there. In fact, was that the end of their activation? It was, which means there is now another bad guy coming in. So things are looking fairly tight. I think he needs to do some immediate heroic dockness. So he's got 4. He's got a support token. He's going to use that for 5. He's got a target of 13. Need some bonus actions on here, boy. That's good. We've got a 10 and a 3. That is a success. 12 and a 4. That is also a success and a bonus success. So I've got 3 successes. Three successes. You can't see my hand otherwise. 3 successes. So 1 brings that down to 3. 2 will give him a support token, and 3 he will shoot at this guy. So at wounded 3, he is on -2 on his stats. So he's got a fight of 1 plus his support token 2. So he can still attempt to shoot his target. His target is 3 inches away, plus 1 is 4, and he's not had a chance to target him yet, so he just gets his support token. So 4s on 2 dice. Oh, 12 and a 6. So the 6, well, that makes 3 successes. So that's 1, 2, plus a bonus success. He can move 1, but if he moves 1, this guy's away. So instead, I will give him a support token. End of that activation. Oh, great. He immediately stands up. That prompts an engagement. He's got 2 dice, hitting on 7s. Ouch. That would kill him, but that will take 1. So that's 2 hits. 1 hit, 2 hits. Other guy gets to hit back. He's still at -2. So he is on 2 dice. No support token now. Needing 5s. 1, 5. So that guy goes down again, but not out. Okay, we are how many minutes? 48 minutes in here. There's 3 of you still diligently watching, which is really pleasant because I don't think that this is necessarily exciting watching. These guys have got to get through this space, and we've got new baddies coming in at the end of every activation. Technically, because he's OOA, he could go through. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for the big one. He's going to come in there. In the next activation, we're going to ignore this guy now. He may be dead. We're going to go for this guy here. He is going to move through his out of action buddy. He is going to cautious move. 1, 2. Going to test his cautious. That's 2, 3, 4. 1, only 2 successes. 1 there, 1 to shoot. So he's going to shoot with his firepower of 3. He's got no advantages. We know the range is 2, he says cautiously. Yep, range is 2, 3 on 3 dice. Need a bonus somewhere. 9, 6, and 9. That is enough to down and put him out and leave him with a bonus action. So he will move 1, 2 to seal that up. Cancelled that. Secondary action. There are no baddies on the table. There is no secondary action. So now he is going to try and seal up the corner. This is a heart. This card over, you can't see the cards there. The card is a heart. on the next command flip, one of these guys is going to stand up. We're going to be in trouble. At least he's going to lose his buddy. Let's see if he can seal it. What did we say it was to seal? 13s, wasn't it? I think I was saying 10s. It is 10s. Dale thinks it's exciting. I'm flattered that you think it's exciting. Let's see if he can seal it up. He can, of course. That's a 10, a 6, a 2, and a 3. So that is 2 successes. So 1 seals that up. So there are going to be no more baddies coming onto the table. We are nearly at the end of this mission. Question is, can he save his buddy as well? He's got a bonus action. So he can move and become engaged with the down bogey. Is it a heart? It is not. Nothing happens. Do you know, if I was smart, let's just wind that. Instead of moving there, what I should have done is move there. Now I'm engaged with the bogeys and with this target. So he's going to attempt to seize the final objective, which is a 16 test, but I would really like at least 1 bonus action if I can get it. Got 11, 2, and 3. That's a success. 6 is nothing. We have claimed the key objective, but I haven't got around to killing these guys, which I wanted to do with a bonus action to take them out. This guy's terribly wounded. Those guys are down. We'll see them out in due course. But that basically illustrates the nature of Zero Dark Fear. So we're down to 2 people. So 2 people thought it was exciting. Right. Ugh. Okay, you can look at me again. Right, that's it. So that was a very, very quick introduction to Zero Dark Fear and some of how it works as far as I can remember it. And one of the challenges of writing games is that you have every iteration of the game in your head and you can never quite remember which thing you thought was the right thing to do. Few things came up in the game which, as far as I can remember, my rules don't address. And it's always great to play test like this. Doesn't matter how many times I roll the dice. Every time I play another game, something comes up and I go, yeah, I should have thought of that. Had I finished with these 2 guys, here we go. Let's have a look at them again. So let's suppose this guy had come back onto his feet. He's now engaged with 2 different enemies. Which one would he prioritize? Now, in a solo game, it's easy because obviously I can just decide. I can decide whichever one is most entertaining for me. But I do like to try and keep the game as consistent and as solid as I can. And I would like this to be a set of rules that could be played PvP as well. So I need an answer to which one would he have attacked. And that's not in the rules. So I need to think about that. And then back here, when we were in this position, I was suddenly going, yeah, you know, he's engaged with 3 enemies at once. Now, that's not something that's even possible in Zero Dark, really. The one with the most health. I mean, yeah, you're right, Dale. That is a logical suggestion that they would go for the biggest threat. I wouldn't say necessarily the one with the most health. But certainly an out of action character, and this hero here is out of action at wounded 4. He would be a low priority, so they definitely wouldn't attack the out of action guy. But going back before he was wounded 4, we got these 3 guys at the front. It's not possible in Zero Dark to decide. If same randomize or randomize to start with. Yeah, no, randomizing. I could randomize it. And that would make sense for the character of the Brood. That is true. But these 3 here, I like the idea of being able to allocate hits against the 3. So when I rolled 4 hits, so I could have put all 3 down and then decided which one I wanted to kill. And it would have been, that wasn't the elite. Was it? It would have been the grunt in the middle. Of course it would have been the grunt in the middle. That makes sense. So it kind of went the way I think the way we played it is the way I would have liked to play it. But that's not been written in the rules yet. So I need to go back and tidy that up and talk about multiple combats, which is not something that happens in core Zero Dark. You can only be in contact with one other enemy at a time. Of course, with all these adjacencies in this game, if you've got somebody there, so everybody in every square around them is adjacent. So you could have a situation where a hero is surrounded by 4 enemies, or 5, or 6. I don't have enough miniatures to go around. I'm sure I have more than that. There we go. That is a possible scenario. That hero would die horribly. If, on the other hand, I mean, this is something else which you might be interested in before we go. If you get into this situation, a nice upgrade to take in this game is explosive. In explosive, you target a square, and that person, it's not quite like Zero Dark where the target is obliterated, but that person isn't having a very bad time. But then it also targets all of these squares outside it. And if you were in a bigger room, it would target the squares outside that as well. So it's a great way of clearing a room that's got full. But something else I had there which came up was the fact that, as that door opens, he was immediately in contact with somebody else. And you know what? That's come up in my playtests before, again and again. And I've just gone, yeah, well, he's engaged immediately. So that's the way it is. I think we should have a rule that allows EWOPs to unlock doors at range, because I think it would be quite cool, assuming this wasn't a single corridor, assuming it was a double corridor where you had 2 lines going down, which is my preferred approach. You could have an EWOP could open that door and then have a guy with a missile launcher fire into it with a bonus action. So you're going, I really need a bonus action. I really need a bonus action. And you get the bonus action and you can drop the missile in and the whole thing blows up. Or you don't get the bonus action and then this guy moves forward and you're going, well, I can't use the explosive now because he's right in the way. So you need somebody to shoot them so that you can get a bonus action and shoot in, which is something else actually which is worth mentioning. In Zero Dark, yeah, no, actually, it's not. Ignore me. I am misspeaking myself. Anyway, that's how it is like when you're playtesting. Always, or it doesn't matter how many times I play the game. I do need to get somebody like Dale or James, another of our local friends, or Mark, over more often to get involved in playtesting when I'm at a late stage, because it's fun and I'm still kind of a shut-in and I need to get out there. But also because that process of playtesting is just great for generating answers and spotting blind spots in a set of rules and pushing them out there. And all games could do with more playtesting, but me just working on my own is never going to be enough. Before we finish, and we're nearly finished, just to let you know what's going to be in FIA when it's released. So the rules that you've seen to modify your games of Zero Dark for a gridded space. In addition, there will be a 6 mission operation called Operation Phobos with a brand new narrative. And it kind of spoilers a book that isn't going to be out for another couple of years yet, because it looks at some of the Terran mercenary companies that grow up on the Fallen Earth in the Zero Dark setting. And it follows one of those mercenary companies heading into the Undercity beneath one of the old city-states to try and plunder it for technology to sell to the Martians and Venusians, and the nasty things that they discover down there. So that's it. I say that's it. I need to get Dale over, because the other thing I want to include is a PvP mission. Just one PvP mission in it, to see if we can make it work. But I haven't quite got there yet. So we'll sort something out, Dale. I'll be in touch. We'll square it away. Right. Any other questions? Any other feedback? Because we're running up on an hour almost exactly. No, all good. Thank you very much for coming, guys. I will speak to you again soon. We're off.